So tonight, the point of tonight is that the subject we're going to be talking about is 5 reasons to keep painting and stay motivated. And the reason I thought I'd talk about this tonight is I have heard a lot online of people saying, well, we just can't play games at the minute. I've got no idea when we're going to be able to play games again. What's the point in hobbying? What's the point in painting? I'm just giving up. I know people who've sold multiple armies because they know they're not going to get them to the table for quite some time. They've pretty much just given up on the hobby. And I get the feeling, and I could be off with this, but I do get the feeling there are a few people who are just feeling a bit flat, a bit demotivated. It's winter. Certainly if you're over here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's a bit cold, it's a bit wet. It's a bit miserable at the minute. So I'm going to give you 5 sort of reasons to keep painting, stay motivated, stay on the path. So the first reason is challenge yourself. So just try something completely different. Try pushing it. So try basing something. At the minute, I've got the basing challenge, the Ace of Base challenge. If you want to know more about that, you can check it out in the YouTube community tab. If you go to my YouTube channel, click on community tab, it'll tell you all about it in there, how you can take part. It's running all the way through January. There's also the Facebook group as well, where you can find out more about it. Just to give you something different, give you a bit of a fresh challenge. But challenging yourself, you can kind of give yourself a renewed reason to be painting stuff. It doesn't have to be to play. You can give yourself a time scale, like limit yourself, do a 48-hour challenge, do a 24-hour challenge, give yourself a week. How many things can I paint in a week? Give yourself a reason to paint stuff. You can try limiting your colour palette. Try just painting a miniature only using 3 colours. Like don't like kind of like pick from your hundreds of different paints. Just pick 3 colours out and try and do the whole sort of miniature just in that 3 colour palette. Keep a diary of how many you paint this year. Loads of people do it, and at the end of the year they see I painted 300 minis or whatever it is. I've never done it in the past. I think I'm going to do it this year. But just giving yourself a challenge, give yourself a reason to paint that isn't playing games, excuse me, is a good way to kind of give you a little bit of a push and keep you motivated to keep painting when you're not painting for the purpose of playing. Another reason why you should keep painting is for your mental health. Painting is really quite relaxing, actually. I mean, it certainly is for me. It's one of the reasons I started painting. It just gives you a chance to mentally switch off. I find when I'm painting, the only thing I can really think about is what I'm doing with the brush, what I'm doing with the miniature. I don't think about what's on the news. I don't think about all of the kind of odd jobs I need to do around the house. I don't think about work, or I certainly didn't in the past. I may think about work now. And just kind of put some relaxing music on. Try and use it as wind down time. Remember that this is your hobby. Remember why you started doing it in the first place. I know some people don't enjoy painting and they only ever paint it to play with painted minis. But that's going to be a smaller proportion of the overall people that paint minis. And I'm sure a lot of us actually, even if we're not good at painting, even if we don't like doing it for long periods of time, you have to kind of admit it is quite relaxing. It's quite a sort of, it's an area of the hobby you need to stay really, really focused on. Just remember it's your hobby. Remember why you started doing it in the first place. The third thing I'm going to say, which is kind of to try and keep you painting, keep you motivated, is the sense of achievement that you get from actually finishing something. Now, I know lots of you will say, well, I never finish anything. That's what I want you to do. I want you to challenge yourself even to finish something. Even if it's just one miniature, paint one miniature until it's finished, or paint 5 miniatures until they're finished. Try and focus on a little warband. If you're going to be painting a big army, just finish a unit, finish a character. You'd be amazed at the sense of achievement and the sense of fulfillment you get from actually finishing something is a spark to your motivation anyway. So really just drill down, get one miniature finished, get it on the shelf in front of you, have it to look at. Don't have yourself surrounded by unfinished miniatures. Get that finished miniature where you can see it, where you can look and really kind of feel the fulfillment from getting something done. The next thing I'm going to say to keep you painting is do something completely different. So just paint for fun. Don't paint for Don't paint for a competition. Don't paint because you're going to a tournament. Don't paint because you're wanting to play the game. Just do it for fun. Just paint something completely different. Paint a bust. Buy yourself a different kind of miniature, like a bust that you can get online. Paint it just to display in your hobby room or in your living room even. Make a diorama. Do something you've never done before. I've never built a diorama. I'm going to try and do that this year. Just it doesn't have to be painting to play miniatures with. It's painting just for the fun of painting, for trying something new. Paint some miniatures that you would never play anyway. But just buy a miniature that you really like the look of. You might not play that game. You might never play that game. But just buy a mini that you really like the look of and paint it just for the enjoyment of doing it, just for the fun of doing it, for the opportunity to do something different that you probably never would. So if you only ever play 40k and you've spent the last 6 to 12 months just painting your Marines or just painting your Necrons, whatever it is, do something completely out of left field. But just buy yourself a mini or a box of minis for something completely different. And the last one really is, and it's maybe a bit of a gout, this one, but it's to get ready for when we can play. There will come a time when we can play games again. It might feel like a long way off. It might feel like it's not going to happen. But it is going to happen at some point. And imagine when we get to that point, if you're playing with fully painted miniatures, imagine getting to that point. Let's say we can't play for another 6 months. Imagine getting to that point and still not having painted miniatures. Like what will your excuse to yourself be? Hold yourself accountable. If you're really looking forward to playing something, paint those minis to get ready to play that game. Set yourself a bit of a target and do that. So those are the kind of 5 things I wanted to really kind of quickly talk about to really just try and motivate you to keep your painting, because it's dead easy to just think, well, I'm not going to play, therefore I'm not going to paint. And before you know it, you fell out of love with the hobby because you've just become a bit down in the dumps about it. Paint for a different reason. Remember why you enjoy painting. It can't just be to play games. I'm sure some of you it is. But I bet there's a much bigger proportion of you that actually enjoyed the painting to show your friends, to just enjoy that kind of creative outlet. So don't sort of lose sight about why you enjoy painting in the first place. Thanks for watching my video. I hope that you really enjoyed it. And if you did, why not consider clicking on the suggested video below to see more of the work that I've done. If you'd like to support the long-term sustainability of this channel, why not consider checking out my Patreon, where you can pledge and support from as little as $2 a month, and there is lots of different tiers and bonuses which will give you access to a private Discord server. It will give you free t-shirts, free mugs, a podcast every month, and a number of other things, including getting your name at the end of every video, like these awesome folks who already support me now.